Part 3, start and monetize a podcast.
Right.
Well, it's pretty easy, I guess, at this point. We've talked about a bunch of stuff, but now we're going to cover audio and video. You know, obviously, we have our names, right? We have the theme, we have our name. This is the third part, and we're going to talk about audio or video. Which direction do you go? Obviously, with podcasting, it traditionally started off as a audio podcast, and as software developed and as the connection between and the plugins between Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn became more available, and then third-party broadcast software became available like this, which is StreamYard. Now you're able to take the video part and make it into a podcast as well. But technically a podcast is the audio version, and there's software out there we'll talk about that you could get both audio and visual. So what you want to decide as well is, do you want to go audio or video? I started off doing both as first, but whatever you're comfortable with. The audio side, I'll give you a couple of tips within the audio side. The great thing about both of these, and you got to keep these in mind, the audio side, Google and YouTube are the number 1 and number 2 websites now, right? They're the 2 most used websites, and they're also search engines. So in both of these, what you want to be able to do is you want to be searchable, right? So from the audio side, there's software out there that you could use, and broadcast software that you could use to help you from editing to then distribution and the production side of it. All right. So content creating, it's all about creating content and distributing it. So the audio side, whether it's on iTunes or Google or Spotify, who cares? I spelled iTunes wrong. It's supposed to be a small I, but get over it. There's one platform that I love. It's actually owned by Spotify now. It's called Anchor, anchor.fm. And anchor.fm allows you to do a bunch of stuff in there. Not only allows you to edit it, but you can record in it. But you also could drop in different features. You can monetize it through ads that they provide to you if you just opt in for those ads, drop in your graphics. But here's the best part about it. It syncs up and plugs into 12 different audio platforms. So all of them, from iTunes to Spotify, to Google, to StreamYard, all of them are in there. So Yardbarker, there's a bunch of them. It just depends on what you're listening to, and it goes global. So we may not have every one of those the audio podcast platforms that are available in the United States, but there's different countries that actually offer them as well. So completely free, completely seamless as far as the integration, and it's phenomenal. Anchor.fm, and like I said, it's free to use. All you do is you're plugging in, you're uploading your MP3 file, and then you could drop in music, you could drop in sponsors, you could drop in bumpers. There's a bunch of stuff that you could do once you get used to it. Audacity is a software that I will use to edit it up. Right. So then you could create your own intro. You could create outros. You could split it up and put in commercials. Again, it all comes down to, what your capabilities are, but you'll get used to it. So Audacity's free. GarageBand, I know a lot of MacBooks come with GarageBand that you could do the editing in. You could actually record it in there as well. So you want a recording software. So Audacity's been able to do it if you're just doing audio. GarageBand is able to do it as well. Anchor you could do it on. But if you use software like, obviously, when you use Zoom or you use StreamYard like I'm using here, it will allow you to download your voice and the video. It breaks it into both an MP3 and an MP4 file. So those are critical, right? So that's the audio part of it. You want your MP3 file. You want to be able to upload it if you can in Audacity to do your editing, or in GarageBand to do your editing. And then you want that MP3 file to also go into Anchor, right? Your broadcast software. So you got your editing software and you have a broadcasting software. You have that both for video and audio. It may seem like a lot, but it's not. I'm sorry, I was looking down here. It may seem like it a lot, but it's actually not. It's not that difficult to figure out. It's a lot of drop and drag and edit, and it doesn't really matter how technically savvy you are. The easiest version to broadcast, to record, and then just press broadcast is really Anchor. But then you want then you want to add in your editing software that adds a little bit more. You want to be able to drop in a cooler intro and some outros, and you want to be able to monetize it. You could do all of that on Anchor. All right. So take a look at Audacity, take a look at GarageBand and Anchor. Again, absolutely free except for GarageBand. I'm sure it's software unless it comes included. So let's talk video. Video is it's 65 to 70% more viewed on all your social media platforms. It obviously, there's 4 billion different posts a day on YouTube, and those are in obviously video format. Video format's the way to go. Video format, without a doubt, is going to get more views, more engagements, more comments. It's going to drive more attention to you. So if you use YouTube, obviously, creating this right here is on YouTube, right? Because start monetize a podcast. If anybody looks how to do that, if they put that into their Google search, hopefully this will come up at some point in the scroll. Eventually, it may get to the top. So add your video, regardless of the software that you use, but add your video and start thinking about creating a channel for YouTube. Create a channel on Anchor, which automatically creates channels on Spotify and iTunes and Google Play. Creating a channel on YouTube will give you that platform. You want to have a location and call it a home base for your video. That video then could be embedded into your website, can be embedded into, you can link it to LinkedIn posts, social media posts. There's so much you could do with it. So what software do you use? Or broadcasting software. I use anything from Zoom to StreamYard, and then I edit it up with iMovies. I spell that one right. So there's a bunch of editing software out there. Adobe, there's Adobe Pro. There's a bunch of software out there. Just depends on editing software for video. Just depends on how comfortable you are using it. I personally like Zoom because I like the audio and the video, but I really like StreamYard, and I like StreamYard, which is this platform right now. I like the control of it. I like the capabilities of it. And then I'm able to download and it records in their cloud as well. So it doesn't take up much. It doesn't take up any storage on my computer. And I like the graphic design capabilities as well. So that's your video. I'm able to then upload it to YouTube. So again, it goes down to what do you feel comfortable with? I feel comfortable in both right now. I want both to grow my community, online community. I want to be able to take this video, I download it. I'll download both audio and video. I'll be able to use it for online courses. I'll be able to scale my business or scale my community, I should say, online through searchable engines, through Google, through YouTube, and be able to do that here as well. So think about what you want to use. Audio, video, I would start off with both. Take a deep dive into both of those. Think about your backdrop that you want to use, how you place your camera. Do you have light? I'm sitting facing my window, which is key. I have natural light coming in, so I don't need all those big lights in my office. Think about your backdrop, what that looks like. Is it somewhat quiet? And then think about, we'll talk about the equipment in your camera and your microphones next.